A lot of talk about your next fight next year being Anthony Joshua's comeback fight. Is that a fight you think is likely from your perspective?
I'm not a comeback fight for nobody. If he wants to come back and fight me, then that's great for me. But at the minute, I'm focusing on Jermaine Franklin and whatever, And Joshua is not looking me for because I wanted to fight him this December. Didn't happen. Eddie wants him to have another 2 or 3 fights will fight me. So I don't know what's going to change between now and December. I don't know. And next year, I don't know.
I was watching an interview you did a couple of years ago with IFL, and you said, I think AJ's a weird guy. What did you mean by that?
He's just a weird guy. He's just a strange guy. Like, you could be speaking to him and he just looks a bit spaced out, a bit absent-minded and a bit vacant, you know what I mean? And he's done a few weird things as well, so, you know what I mean, obviously, but we all do weird things, but, it's just a bit, there's no consistency to what he does. He puts on this act and pretend he's a good boy, then all of a sudden he wants to be a bad boy and he wants to rap and he wants to this and he wants to talk about notorious gangsters and stuff, but at the same time he's a good boy advocate for people. It doesn't make, there's no consistency. That's what I mean, it's weird. No consistency, no real, spine or backbone. It's a bit all over the place, man.
People have tried to analyse the way he's handling himself since the last Usyk fight, and even going back to the Andy Ruiz loss as well, and saying that, look, you can see the cracks in him. But do you think he's always looked a bit spaced out for as long as you've known him like that?
You know what? He's always looked a bit spaced out, but people's always looking for something to criticize people about, man. Good luck to him. He done his thing. He's made money. He won world championship twice or whatever. Good luck to him. Obviously, I hope he stays in boxing. I hope he stays of solid mind because I want to fight him. I want a chance to get my rematch. I hope he stays of solid and sound mind. I don't want him to go crazy and then retire and fucking become a rapper or a priest or something. I don't know.
How do you...
Those are the words of Dillian, the body snatcher, Whyte, as he calls Anthony Joshua a weirdo. He says he's talking to him. He's not really quite there. He's kind of spaced out. That is true. Like sometimes when you when you hear him, even in interviews, he's not really he's there, but he's not. He's always like his mind is somewhere else. Maybe that's because he has so much other shit going on, all the pressure, all that stuff, with endorsements and things of that nature. But then it is contradicting to see someone that has all that stuff, had, Hugo Boss and Under Armour and, Range Rover and, you have all these different types of endorsements, and that's due to you have to put on or have a certain reputation. Okay, you have to conduct yourself in a certain manner. So maybe he's thinking about what to say versus how he really feels about shit. I remember Anthony Joshua, where this had to be some leaked footage because I don't even know if you can find it anywhere on the internet now. But this was about 4 years ago. No, about 3. And he found out, this is before the Andy Ruiz fight, he found out that Deontay Wilder was taking on Dominic Breazeale. And he was in the gym talking to his boys, like a pack of these cats. They all like huddled up in like a crowd, And he was just like, Breazeale, you know what? This motherfucker's he's taking my leftovers and stuff like that. And then whoever was recording it cut. So I guess he was like, okay, let me shut this shit down before it's revealed. Because I don't know if it was live or whatever, but it was cut short. I don't know. I'll try to look for it, but that wasn't, you wanted to hear what else he had to say. And you knew he was heated. He was livid, okay, about finding out or the next opponent for Deontay Wilder because Anthony Joshua wanted to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm convinced in that. I think his whole thing was, hey, let me get all those belts. Let me do the Lennox Lewis shit. Let me do that same song. Let me go that same route, but plus that one belt, that added belt. And I want to accomplish that. And I guess maybe the idea of Wilder fighting Breazeale was something else. But then you do hear him talking about Nicky Barnes and, Nicky Barnes and Frank Lucas and these cats like that were notorious, infamous for selling drugs and killing people. You know what I mean? So Dillian Whyte has a point. It's like, okay, well, damn, how much of that equates, or how do you compare that to Mr. Nice Guy? With all the, clever quotes and positive vibes and stay humble and, where does that come in at, honestly? You know what I mean? How do you stay humble, stay hungry, now you're going to sell drugs and kill people. So, yeah, Dillian Whyte is coming at him right. Bars. And it is like, it makes you wonder, and much respect to Anthony Joshua. I think he's done a hell of a job making a shitload of money, but I think it came at a price of him not revealing who he really is. And in times he gets tired of that shit. So he says cryptic stuff, to say what he really wants to say without sounding so artificial, and give you kind of riddles or certain ways, like if you hear him say, you know what I'm trying to say, you know what I'm trying to say, you know what I'm saying? That when you say that instead of saying it, that lets you know it's like, hey, it's some stuff that I really want to say, but I really can't say. Because I'm going to fuck over a lot of money and I'm going to piss some people off. And then since I piss some people off, I'm going to fuck over a lot of money and I lose a lot of money, lose a lot of opportunity. You know what I mean? So, when Wilder got beat and he said, for all the times that, Wilder said this about me and did this and did that, and I try to make the fight, he acts like someone he acts like a word of a person. It starts with a B and it ends with an H. You guys remember that? And it was like, dude, just call the man a bitch. Come on, man. Just call the man a bitch. Teofimo Lopez did it. He's acting like a bitch. Right? That New Yorker. Brooklyn. Right? So, yeah, it's like, and one thing I learned, people love authenticity, but you can't be too real in certain situations. See, Mike Tyson didn't have all that. Mike Tyson just made money because people were going to pay to see him. He was in hot demand. He bit off Evander Holyfield's ear. He wanted to eat Lennox Lewis's kids, but people still paid to watch him because he was a spectacle all by himself. He didn't need all this other shit. Whereas Anthony Joshua, I think this shit just, bow, fell in his lap from the Olympic golds and all that. And I think that catapulted a lot of opportunities to him. And he was like, yo, this is cool. But I still like the whole idea of selling shit. Because you guys remember, Anthony Joshua was caught with a substantial amount of marijuana once upon a time, rolling in a BMW, and was pulled over and it was confiscated and he thought he was going to jail, and it probably was the best thing that happened to him. But understand, who was he before he laced up the gloves? Counterpunch. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Dillian Whyte calling Anthony Joshua a weirdo and putting on an act for the public. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!